So we finished the last video thinking about what this table shows us, and essentially what the takeaway here is that man's activity, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, is having a big impact on the release of pollutants into the Earth's atmosphere. Rice paddies and things like intensive rearing of livestock also is having a massive impact on air pollution. The production of fertilizer can cause all sorts of problems. We're going to come back to this in the next unit on water pollution, but we're going to consider here as well that in the manufacture of fertilizers, you can release gases which are pollutants. And then you've got all sorts of industrial processes, and things like aluminium production, as you can see there, are contributing to gases which are pollutants. So to think about the next part of the syllabus, it's this one here. We need to understand the biological consequences of pollution by sulfur dioxide and carbon monoxide. And just to remember that these two are not greenhouse gases. Where do they come from? They both come from the burning of fossil fuels and industrial processes. And when they are released into the Earth's atmosphere, because they are very soluble, they dissolve in the water vapor and then will fall as acid rain. So we've got sulfuric acid rather, carbon monoxide forming carbonic acid, and nitrous oxide forming nitric acid, all of which are going to be below pH 7 and can have a disastrous effect on the ecosystem. What we also need to bear in mind is that wherever these gases are produced doesn't mean that the acid rain is going to fall where they are produced. What can happen is that these gases move in the Earth's atmosphere and can have an impact away from the industrialized area that was producing them. And again, we can think of the fairness and equity that's associated with that. You can see in this diagram here that if acid rain falls, it's going to have the impact of directly burning anything that it falls on. So it can damage leaves, it can damage organisms which are living in the soil, and it can change the pH of the soil and have significant impacts. So how do we need to look at this? We need to think about acid rain falling, its direct impact, its impact on the soil, and then the fact that waterways are also polluted, and it can also cause the leaching of certain heavy metals and causing erosion to take place as well, because of course it's acidic. So connect the idea of acid with what we already know about the internal the metabolism of organisms, and the fact that the pH needs to be optimum for the enzymes to allow the metabolic processes of the organisms to take place. So the acid rain, what do we need to think about? It can burn trees, right? Rather than say that, I want you to think about, as your triple students, to say that this is going to destroy plant tissue, and if it destroys plant leaf tissue, then it's going to prevent photosynthesis. That's going to prevent the energy, or it's going to decrease the energy which is going to be able to flow through an ecosystem naturally. So again, making connections is super important. Sulfuric acid in particular causes the leaching of heavy metals like calcium and magnesium. And calcium and magnesium, when they are found in excess within the soil, can have an impact on the soil metabolism. As you can see there, it causes yellowing and withering of the plants, which therefore can't grow. So we've got direct impacts because of photosynthesis. We've got indirect impacts because we can also, as well as stopping photosynthesis, we can have an impact on the root tissue being impacted because the acid rain is in the soil. That causes the decrease in uptake of nutrients like nitrate, which are required, and also causes leaching of calcium and magnesium in the soil. We also need to think about the effect that the pH is also going to decrease in waterways, streams and lakes. And again, this is going to have an impact directly on the organisms which are living there, but also can cause leaching of, within water, aluminium. And aluminium is particularly damaging to fish gills. That means that the fish can't breathe, and they can't, they decrease in numbers. They can't obtain oxygen for respiration. So again, when we're talking about biological consequences go beyond the mundane and say burning. They are damaging the leaf tissue, stopping photosynthesis. They are damaging root tissue, which stops the uptake of nitrate, which prevents growth. That means decrease in biomass, decrease in energy flowing through the food chain. We've got this leaching effect that takes place as well. Your task now is to do the questions in the booklet, which are on pages 6 through to 9. All of these are related to air pollution. Use these slides and also your textbook and the extra videos that I posted on the Google Classroom to make notes and make sure that you would be confident in an exam situation to answer the question and develop on your ideas.